All right. Hello, everyone, and thank you for continuing to join us throughout the day here at the Lytham Partners Spring 2025 Investor Conference. Again, my name is Robert Blum, managing partner here at Lytham. And for this upcoming webcast, I will be moderating a fireside chat with the Chief Executive Officer of Aquafil, Mr. Giulio Bonazzi. Aquafil trades on the OTCQX under the ticker symbol ECNLF and in Milan under ECNL. Mr. Bonazzi, thank you so much for your participation. Welcome back.
Thank you, Robert. Nice to talk to you.
Very good. I want to sort of start broad and then maybe try to dive a little bit more into the most recent financial results. So, taking a step back here, since its founding in 1965 now, talk about how Aquafil has evolved from a traditional nylon manufacturer to really a global leader now in this sort of circular economy, and what are some of the key milestones that really defined this journey along the way here?
Well, it's been an incredible journey. In fact, we have started, during the 70s as a small fiber company based in Italy. And then we started, of course, to grow, and we have become a global leader in nylon and through research and development, introducing a lot of incredible technologies. And among them, of course, ECONYL is the most important. So now we are a global company making nylon in 3 different continents: Europe, North America, USA, and Asia. And we sell to all the countries that are, buying this kind of products.
So you maybe talk about what are the sort of 3 end main products, right? Sort of carpet yarns, textile yarns, and then polymers is right as well. Talk about how each contributes to sort of the overall business model and sort of the strategic importance of each one of those.
Yes, if we split our revenues by area of product, the carpet yarn is still the most important. Around 72% of consolidated revenues are linked with this activity. And this, we are a global leader. We are the largest nylon yarn company selling, to the carpet industry around the world, of course, in Europe, but now also in Asia and getting bigger and bigger in US. Then textile yarns sold to weavers and knitters, so mainly for making garments and accessories. And this is, let's say, the biggest part in Europe, but we have also an operation in North Carolina, supplying for a residential application, upholstery, mattresses, and things like that. The third area of business is, newly born, even though Aquafil was involved in this kind of production since 2013. It's making polymer for extrusion, for compounding, and also making compounding materials for injection molding, which is something that we have started in 2023 and now finally is paying back with good results. So 73 is carpet, around 18 is textile yarns, and the remaining 10 is polymer and engineering plastic.
Let's come back to, you mentioned sort of ECONYL, and maybe for those that aren't familiar with what exactly ECONYL is, talk about the brand and some of the unique competitive advantages that provides the company.
ECONYL is a really unique product coming from a unique technology which has been entirely developed by our incredible talented team of people. And it's a nylon, nothing else than nylon, but instead of using oil-based raw materials, it's using entirely waste. Pre-consumer, post-consumer waste, some of them particularly ugly, like fishing nets or carpets or plastic stuff that the plastic industry cannot recycle. So the journey of ECONYL is starting from rescuing waste, because it's already a challenge to understanding where nylon waste are ending their lives, and then of course to take them back to Europe. And then it's a chemical process, so it's not a mechanical recycling. It's called depolymerization, because the waste are coming in the form of polymer. So we have to break the bonds of the polymers, returning one step back in the chemical chain, so returning to the monomer. making a purification of this monomer, and then you have a monomer exactly identical of the one coming from petroleum. So you can make new polymers, perfectly performing and aesthetically equal to the one that you are normally using, and then, of course, yarns out of these polymers. For the time being, we are the only company, let's say, operating a large chemical depolymerization plant in the world, and we are working harder and harder to make it bigger and more cost competitive.
Very good. Let's talk about you mentioned sort of three, plants on three different continents, but you also have customers really throughout the world here. Talk about how sort of this global presence and footprint allows you to more effectively serve the various markets that you participate in.
Aquafil is a global company, but with a local footprint because we have around a bit less than 20, so 19 operations. And normally we try to minimize or avoiding transactions in the sense of shipping materials from one side to the other, from one continent to the other. And this, as you know, especially in this period, is particularly valuable because, of course, the possible tariff war might, of course, hit yourself if you are not, let's say, operating locally. So our European operations producing carpet yarns, polymers, and textile yarns are serving mainly European customers or eventually in the Middle Eastern area. The American operations are serving mostly North American customers, so from Canada to Mexico, while our Asia Pacific, in Asia, the main hub is China, but then we have also subsidiaries in Thailand and Japan for serving the local market or the Oceania market, because of transportation, time to market, and also to avoiding, let's say, import duties, which is, of course, quite valuable.
Very good. As it relates to expanding the adoption of ECONYL, right? It's sort of this competitive product that you have or competitive advantage within this product that you have. Talk about how you're looking to expand adoption with, high-end luxury fashion retailers, automotive perhaps, commercial flooring, and maybe any partnerships that you might have that assist in those efforts.
During 24 and the first quarter of 25, we have seen a big growth of ECONYL sales. We have started last year with a percentage of revenues related to fiber between 50 to 55%, ending 2024 to 54%, so from 50 to 54. And then finally, you have noticed for sure that during the first quarter, we have scored a very good number, 60% of our fiber revenues that are made out of ECONYL. It means that ECONYL is growing, still growing in the carpet application, in textile, but lately also has started to move the first steps toward the polymer and engineering plastic, which is, of course, very important for us because, in fact, we have returned to this business area not to sell, let's say, conventional products, but to work very much in introducing conventional mechanically recycled pellets for molding, but also ECONYL polymers for molding and for extrusion. So it is a continuous work. Today, we have more than 2,500 brands using ECONYL. Of course, all the most important carpet companies like Interface, Milliken, Mannington, and many others, if we speak, of course, about American ones. In textile, we work with companies like Prada, Gucci, Stella McCartney, Burberry, Louis Vuitton, and more than 600 companies making swimwear. And now, as I said, we have also started to introducing ECONYL into the plastic business.
How do you sort of focus on meeting the cost competitiveness between ECONYL and traditional nylon products?
Well, needless to say that, when you are recycling, you hope, you wish to see, of course, petroleum-based stuff expensive, which is not the case right now. So eventually, we are improving our profitability despite, of course, we are in a moment when, let's say, conventional raw materials are pretty cheap or affordable. So, of course, the target is to finding applications that are, reasonably paying a price which is giving us a premium. Secondly, of course, that are delivering to the final clients the highest kind of products. And then, of course, it's more internal. It's a very new technology, so there are still big possibilities for cost improvements, and this is what we are doing daily. So finding how to reduce energy consumption, how to reduce, let's say, or improve yields on raw materials, how to develop technologies for validating new waste that are, let's say, less expensive. It's a continuous work. And of course, being young, still, a lot of possibilities.
Very good. For those not familiar, you outlined an industrial plan highlighting your outlook for 2025 and into 2026. Can you share some details of that plan as it pertains to sort of revenue and EBITDA, et cetera?
Yes, well, first let me say that this plan was released last September. I know that seems a different geological era, because in this period so many things have happened. But of course, we want to return to growing our volumes, and in the first quarter, we are seeing already the first, let's say, step in this direction. Of course, continuing cutting costs and freeing cash flow for deleveraging the company. So this is basically these are basically the three pillars of our business plan. In the case of carpet yarns, we are counting not so much on a market growth, but let's say a couple of competitors have exited from the market, one in Europe and one in USA. So we are starting, of course, to see the first volumes that are left, for the remaining players. While in the textile yarn, I mean, we have lost so much during the last 3 years that we are just counting on recovering part of it. Then, of course, polymer, as I said, it's a newly born business. We are a tiny operator, so we still have possibilities for growing. In terms of capex, we have a capex plan, which is, let's say, maybe a bit exceeding what is necessary for realizing this business plan. The most important investment, which is almost completed, is the expansion of our Chinese operation, which was running at full capacity. So it was necessary, of course, to fulfill the growth of the market. But I must say that also our American branch in Cartersville has let's say, a return to, growing its volumes very, very steadily. And, we are very happy with its results.
Very good. I just want to hit on a couple of key points here. As you mentioned, you just released your first quarter financial results here a couple of weeks ago. Increases in profitability compared to the same period a year ago. Again, despite some of the things that you talked about, sort of this global economic context that we kind of continue to work through, and some of the challenges here. Talk about how you've been able to really perform well in spite of some of these macro factors that are out there.
Well, of course, being a global company, but with the local footprint, we have been maybe less touched by this kind of turmoils. Even though I must tell you that strangely we were expecting, for example, for some business activities a slowdown, and it's happened the opposite. So, for example, our sales into the American automotive market have grown very well during the first quarter, while on the other side, we were afraid, because of this uncertainty driven by, tariffs to Mexico and Canada, which, as you know, are countries very much linked to the American auto market. I mean, we were a little afraid of it. On the contrary, we were expecting a growth for our textile yarns in USA because of extra tariffs, in particular against Chinese goods, but it's happened the opposite. So clearly, what is important during these periods of high uncertainty is to be flexible, to be ready to react quickly, and to adjust your operational level as well as your inventory to the market demand. During the first quarter, as I said, our American carpet yarn business has performed very, very well, which was, on the contrary, weaker last year. So this is, of course, very important. Also, Europe and Asia have, in this business area, done pretty good. I mean, in line with our budget forecast. On the other side, what has been a bit worse than our forecast has been the energy cost, in particular in Europe, because natural gas prices were higher than normal, during, let's say, the last couple of months of 24 and the first quarter of 25. So it's a combination of plus and minuses, but overall it was a plus. But still, we have some work to do, and we will deliver during the coming periods.
All right, very good. Maybe as we look to wrap things up here, for investors here, talk about maybe the top reasons investors should be looking at the company right now as an attractive opportunity, particularly in the sort of the sustainable textile market and the circular economy space that you operate in.
Well, I mean, demand for sustainable product is still on the rise. The appetite of the final consumers for this kind of products is getting bigger and bigger. And in the same time, we are improving our cost position and becoming more and more cost competitive. If you look at Aquafil results and you compare them with competitors' one, you will find that Aquafil, which, I mean, the first quarter was close to 12% of EBITDA margin, is having much higher profitability than its competitors. And still, thanks to better technologies, to more research and development, to global positioning, to being very active on the medium high end of the market, we still have some good potential, to develop and to deliver. So why, of course, to invest in Aquafil? Well, also because we believe that the share price is still pretty, let's say, convenient to enter in this investment right now, even though, of course, it has risen a lot in comparison with the share capital increase price that was about €1.20, because, of course, it was 110 plus the right for subscribing the shares. So overall, I believe that the market is picking up slowly, step by step, because also the commercial office space is getting better now, with people returning to work in presence and not virtually. Automotive market, of course, it's we are operating in the high end, and thanks to ECONYL, we are particularly successful with the new systems like hybrid electric vehicles and this kind of cars. So we believe that, of course, we still have a bright future and a lot of possibilities, to improve, to keep improving our results.
All right, very good. Maybe one or two key milestones we should be on the lookout for here throughout the year as you guys progress against sort of the industrial plan that you set forth.
As I said, please keep an eye on, the resilience of our business, also on the capital expenditures that, they should give us the possibility to keep growing, reducing cost, and also deleveraging the company. And then, of course, some new product lines that are being, developing, and also new technologies.
All right, very good. Well, Mr. Benassi, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you to everybody who's watching. If you do have any questions that we can help coordinate answers to, or perhaps schedule a meeting with management here, you can send me an email. That's bloom@lythampartners.com. Further, learn more about us. You can visit our website, or make sure to stay connected to us on LinkedIn to be alerted to future interviews such as this one here today with Aquafil. So again, Mr. Benassi, thank you so much for your time today. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Robert.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of the conference here and a great day. We'll talk to you soon.